Yep. He survived. He was in the 8th row. He's doing good. But we've kept it on the kind of on the QT.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one that landed on its top, right?
Yep. Yep.
Holy smokes. Damn.
Yeah, he was flying from Minnesota to Toronto.
Wow. Dang, dude, I'd be. Did they? I haven't. I've been crazy busy. Did they say kind of like how or why the plane ended up?
They still don't know. They think the pilot overcompensated on wind that blew up, but I was Troy. Troy called me. One of the first people he called was me, and I tried to get him to go on the air because we would have been national news if he'd have done it. Now I don't know if anybody cares anymore, but
Right.
you know, I was trying to be insensitive to him, not to really push it or whatever. But we really had a gold bind had he wanted to go on camera. We'd have been on CNN that night,
Damn.
So, but I'm just glad he's okay.
Well, yeah, just that's all that really matters with something
Yeah.
like that. Like
It's just, Troy, it's like he's never met a selfie he doesn't like, and he's always posting about every single moment of his life, and here was this great opportunity to cash in, literally.
Yeah, that's like one. That's one of those sort of things. I mean, I get it.
Oh
But
no, I'm not insensitive to it. It's just the PT Barnum and me was just going, wow, we it would have put our podcast on the map, and they would have had him being on CNN, and every. He didn't understand that the news media had access to his cell phone and phone numbers, though, because they were calling him.
yeah,
And he didn't realize that they pay for a service that if they get your name and you're on a flight list, they can get your information,
Yeah. Wow. That's one of those things. I mean, it's like you look a gift horse in the mouth, like just
Of course.
like
Yeah.
man, just like to be alive is pretty.
And that's why I thought he might take a day or two to process, but we haven't spoken in 4 or 5 days. He's making posts on Facebook and stuff. He just hasn't. I don't know if the airlines told him not. Initially, they told him to talk, but everybody talked. And then I saw there was a $30,000 offer from the airlines to all passengers on the plane. So I don't know if maybe they said screw you or holding out for more. You never know.
Yeah. Man, I I don't know. I'd just be thanking my lucky stars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would leave that, anyways. Let me let some more peeps in here. Gee, you're in it.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Good.
Do
How
you
are
remember
you?
You remember Dave Stevens?
Yeah, Dave, it was a while ago. Gosh,
Mhm.
the NFL season went by fast.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
So
Here we are again.
Dave's our bud. Dave is the man. Dave is the guy. We got me and Brady into Radio Row, which was probably one of the coolest things in my entire life.
That's awesome.
Like I can't even explain how amazing.
Did you get good seats at the actual game?
They were all right. They were in an upper. I want to not the highest deck up, but it was a good overview of the field, which was neat to see. But I would have honestly. I've worked at 29 Super Bowls. That was like the third game I've been to, and it is so much more enjoyable at home when you're watching the commercials and you're not sitting there for the 8 minutes that it takes to set up the halftime show and an interesting halftime show.
Yes.
Considering, I like that. I'm not. I would never get political. I just thought that they should have sprinkled in a couple of mainstream artists to give everybody a ooh moment. Because we don't know about the Drake battle. So we didn't understand the significance of those songs and why Serena Williams was there and all that stuff,
And Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well over many white people's heads, I believe, which was tough.
That's
But
funny. Well, cool. We got Tony and Bama now, so
Hey guys.
Greg Vaughn will be
Hi,
hopping
G
on
Unit.
here
Hi,
shortly.
Dave. How you doing, sir?
hey guys, good to see you again.
It's a pleasure.
Yes,
Likewise.
indeed.
So Tony, just like usual, I'll run the video intro. You give us the Tony intro after, and we'll get this party started.
You got it, baby. I'm ready to
Okay.
dance.
In 3, 2, 1.
What? Hey, guys, it is a beautiful Monday evening. Hello, America. Hey, guess what, man? We're in Sports and Tacos tonight. We do have a great show. We got LXG Unit up there. We got Shotgun up there. We got my boy Roll Tide, Roll Bama, Robert on there. And later on, we're going to have also MLB Greg Vaughn, man. But you know what? We got two great people that are coming on our show tonight. One of them's right here, Mr. Dave. He's a 7-time Emmy boy, man. Good job. Congratulations. We love you, man. And then also later on, we got Brady Maluza coming on. He's got a beautiful documentary, man, it's called Mr. Inspiration. We can't wait to hear about it, but also we got more going on too. We got basketball. We got baseball. We have hockey. And then also, we got to talk about some refs, everybody, including up there, Eugene Unit. Oh, my gosh. But, hey, you know what? I'm going to pass it to Spencer right now. Hey, Dave, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Great to be back, guys. Love the show.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. And yeah, I just want to start off with, I can't thank you enough. You can't really put a price on getting into Radio Row. If you do a sports podcast, just that, I can't thank you enough. Next time I see you, dinner's on me if I got money, because it's just invaluable. The people that you meet, we have guys, I've got some meetings lined up with huge fish that are interested in sports and tacos, and also the Mr. Inspiration documentary. And I would have never been able to meet those people if Dave wouldn't have got me and Brady into Radio Row. I can't even really explain. You guys saw it, Bama. You saw what it was.
It was huge, man.
It's everybody in the same place for 5 straight days. And Dave, I thank you from I cannot thank you enough. So
Well, thank you.
and we're sometime in the next couple of days we are really contemplating the draft. It's one of those things where none of us get paid to do this, so we all work normal jobs, and even with the Super Bowl, should I have taken that time off? No. Could I afford to take that time off? No. But I'm also crazy, and it's of course I can't afford to take this time off, but I can't afford to miss an opportunity like that. I will get over the money. I'll figure out a way to scrape by and get the bills paid. So anyways.
Yeah, that's very humbling, and I appreciate that. It's nice that, after, I've been in TV for over 40 years, that I can give back, and still I get a kick out of seeing it through your eyes. I get a kick out of seeing it through people that actually appreciate it, because so many of those other people, I think they take it for granted, and, they're complacent. And that's why, you really wanted to learn and see, and then you got to meet people. And now, if you get that opportunity to come back next year or set up your own ability to go, you'll be there on opening night. You'll be there for all of those big events. And then, you can bring an intern or you can help people. That's what this business is all about. If we don't help each other to grow, we're not going to have this business, because media is changing so much. So if we don't figure out ways to cover things and do things with podcasts and telecasts, mainstream TV is dead. And so that's why it's important to, give others opportunities that are going to be here long after me, so they can run with the ball and do quality programming and learn how to do interviews and learn how to talk to people and learn how to ask questions. And and when you see the who's who, and I still get a thrill out of sitting there with Marcus Allen or sitting there with Doug Flutie or these guys that come and sit there and just having fun with those guys, where if you do your homework like you guys do, you get a lot better interviews than most of these other TMZs and these kind of outlandish shows that just want to talk about your DUIs or your criminal past or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me and Brady. Was I talking about that on the Super Bowl special? We had met a guy from Texas who he had gotten an exclusive interview with Patrick Mahomes' mom. Remember me mentioning that G Unit, where all that anybody wanted to chat about in regards to Patrick Mahomes was his brother and his dad, and all the negative publicity. And basically, he got an interview with the mom that was completely positive, and nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. And I get it. Anybody in media, if it bleeds, it leads. That's the rule, basically. But I don't know. Somebody needs.
Well, I had a thrill, Spencer, a thrill of a lifetime, because I interviewed Brett Favre on that Monday, and his agent called me and texted me and said, "Hey, can we get a clip? Can we get that?" And I sent it. He goes, "That was one of Brett's favorite interviews he's ever done." And I was just humbled that he said that, because Brett talked about Parkinson's. We didn't touch on the negatives of things in court, but we touched on Parkinson's, and we did talk about his feud with the linebacker for the Jets, that Gastineau, when they had that confrontation, and Brett opened up and said, "I think ESPN set me up. I think they played a fool," and it was really neat to him to talk about. He was scared. He really was fearful of his life because he knew Gastineau isn't very stable. But it was just, we were supposed to go 20 minutes and we went 50. So that's those are the cool moments that you get. That you guys get on this show with the guests that you guys get. You get them to open up. You get them to talk about things other than those X's and O's.
Yeah, and that happens. That's one thing that is really cool. I've noticed about our shows. When we do get big guests, a lot of times they're like, "Hey, I got 5-10 minutes," and next thing you know, an hour goes by and they're having a blast. It's how we got Greg Vaughn. It's how we've gotten, tons of people. So I assume that's kind of how when people are having a pretty good time and are glad to be on your show. So, anyways, we got a good show tonight. Brady's supposed to be stopping in. We'll give him 5 or 10 minutes for sure to blast out Mr. Inspiration documentary, because it's getting close to being done. I'll let him kind of. That thing's going to be huge. Larabe Aziz is our new hockey girl. Larabe is supposed to be stopping on here, give us some updates about hockey. Greg's supposed to be stopping on if he can, and we'll just rock and roll. So, if there is a bunch of people on tonight, we might do this kind of like around the horn style, where I'll bring up the topic and then I'll just give everybody a chance to speak on the topic. So anyways, I will start. Well, I want to wait for Brady to come on, because and just so you guys know, because he's been on a few times. You guys remember Isaac Ruiz from Chico and the Man, and Bob Whelan's best friend? Isaac passed away a couple weeks ago.
Oh man.
He is one of my most favorite people that we've had on this show. His stories.
He was fun. He was always fun.
His stories were amazing. Like how he got into Hollywood. I just wanted to let everybody know. I'll let Brady talk more about that when he comes on. But anyways, I was kind of wanted to wait for Greg, but there's something. Okay, I'm going to start with this. Who can name? I want to see if anybody can name a certain person. Does anybody know the player that was picked? I believe it was in the 2000. We're going to wait for Greg to come on. All right, there we go. Greg,
What's happening?
What's up,
how
guys?
you doing?
Gregory.
What's happening?
Not a lot. Just sports and tacos Monday night. Trying to just kind of getting started. We were just getting ready to dive in. Have you met Dave Stevens? Were you on with the Dave Stevens episode a while back, Greg?
Yeah. Good to see you,
Okay,
Dave.
awesome. Greg, Dave. Okay, so I just mentioned Greg. This is just totally like unrelated to anything, but you remember Isaac Ruiz, who's been on the show a few times?
Yeah.
Isaac passed away a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Just so you know, Brady's going to come on. You know, he was Bob Whelan's best friend. He was the guy, he helped him walk almost a good portion of the way across America on his hands. He great interviews. Just so you guys know, I wanted to let everybody know that Isaac passed away.
Is he the young guy? The young?
No, he was the older guy, older Latino guy with the greatest stories in the world about how he got into Hollywood and stuff. You remember?
I love the Jackie
Yes.
Gleason one.
Yes, had some great stories to share.
He
Oh,
like BS'd his way into Hollywood dude, he was on Chico and the Man for years.
mhm.
Right.
So anyways, I just want to let you guys know that. We'll let Brady kind of chat more about it. Okay. I wanted to start with this. So Greg, we're going to kind of go around the horn style here. I'm just going to bring up the topic and then I'm just going to pick, Greg, Tony, Bama, Dave, G Unit, and get your opinions on whatever the topic is. Because we got Larray Aziz coming on. We have Brady Mazzola stopping in. So we're going to have kind of a full house tonight. Anyways, I want to start here. Can anybody name the player? I believe it was the 2007 NBA draft. The player that was taken before Kevin Durant.
2007.
No Googling it. You can't Google it either. And it goes into my topic.
Is this like a big name player?
Well, okay. His name was, you're going to remember it. His
We'll
name
just give
was
a hint,
Ray-
at least. Come on now.
The name
Greg
was
Oden.
Greg
Greg
Oden.
Greg Oden. Yeah, hell yeah.
Greg
Yes.
Oden. Okay? Greg Oden, there's a reason why he was picked before Kevin Durant. He was supposed to be the next Wilt Chamberlain. Until, do you remember, all of a sudden, microfracture surgery in one knee, then microfracture surgery in the next knee. And, then you get double microfracture surgery. Next thing you know, you go from being the next Wilt Chamberlain to not even having really an NBA career. So what I wanted to chat about here was, you guys heard about Wembanyama?
Yep.
Okay, I mean, dude.
Blood clot. What? Thrombosis. Yeah, not good.
Oh, the shoulder blood clot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
You guys-
so young.
The next Wilt Chamberlain. And I'm assuming, and they say, it'll have it under control. It's not going to be hopefully that big of a deal. But they did bench him for the rest of the season, so it's not a small deal. And
Yeah.
a blood clot issues, didn't that shorten? I know it shortened Chris Bosh's career. Am I correct when I say that? Anybody remember that?
I want to say yes on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, they
So-
regulated it for a
It's a
while, but
serious
he
issue.
was never the same.
Yeah, it's just like such a dangerous thing. So what I wanted to chat about, and this is not really a yes or no question, but when I think about people like Greg Oden, Chris Bosh, I also think about people like Tom Brady, Nolan Ryan, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, LeBron James. And this is just complete opinion-based question. What do you think gives a guy like Nolan Ryan or Tom Brady or LeBron James, guys that play for just years and years and years? Is it luck? Is it conditioning? Is it DNA? Is it God? Like, think about how many careers, how many Nolan Ryans and LeBron Jameses that there could be. because I feel horrible for Wembanyama, dude.
You
I
know,
mean,
I think it's a combination of all of it.
Yep.
You know, I think luck plays a huge part of it. You know what I mean? To be able to play as long as like the guys you just mentioned. But you remember Brandon Roy? He was another one. I see Dave with his Washington. Portland, same thing. I mean, he was a superstar, but he had the 2 microfracture surgeries, and you can go all the way back to Chris Webber had one. You know what I mean? It's that surgery you didn't come back from. Part of it is, like I said, you have to be lucky enough not to get injured. LeBron has been lucky enough that he's been hurt, but he hasn't been injured. There's a
Yeah.
difference. And I don't think, and it's luck, it's the good Lord, it's genetics, it's all the above, but I don't think you can absolutely say, it's one or the other. I think luck more than anything else, or God on your side, one of the two.
right?
Or
Okay.
a combination of both.
Combination G Unit. What do you think? Like allows. What do you think? And this is again completely opinion based. It's just I also think about it like this every year at the NFL draft. Okay, everyone. It's just a group of future superstars, right? Many times when you go back and you look at an NFL draft 10 or 15 years later, this huge group of future superstars, out of all of them, there might be 1 or 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
So I don't know.
DNA.
What do you think? I just what are your thoughts?
DNA and the environment that you're raised in, your religion that you're raised up with, DNA, luck, and just conditioning and being strong for years. You're there. A lot of them are born an all-star. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Stevens, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, for your points, then you think about a Tony Mandrich or a Ryan Leaf, those failures that you thought were going to have those successes. And I mean, Greg had a 15-year career in the major leagues, and I don't know what his attributes, what your thoughts are, Greg, as to how you had that longevity, because it really is tough, for all these great stories. Then you've got to Mark the Bird Friedrich. You get these guys that were just had a year or a season, or Joe Charbonneau, another great slugger that kind of, everyone thought he was going to be around for a long, long time. So it really is tough. You can't question that athlete because you're not that athlete, and things happen and you get microfractures or you get injuries, and then people will be like, well, why doesn't he rehab and why doesn't he try to do, and that's what Odin did for years. And you see these guys battling and really trying to work hard, sometimes sitting out 2 complete seasons for football injuries, just trying to get back there because of the love of the game. And I don't think the old timers like Nolan Ryan get a lot of credit. The Burt Blyleven's, those guys, the Tom Brady's, that have been able to establish a career, like Brett Favre. Brett Favre didn't have the greatest success late in his career, but he was one of the toughest SOBs you ever saw as a quarterback. And he played through those pains. Nowadays, I think guys are like, hey, I've got my money. I made my bank. I'm going to go off into the sunset and just live off of that. So it takes quite, and that's why I throw it back to Greg of how did you do it for 15 years?
Well, I think my off seasons were, and once again, like I said, I still got hurt, but I waited to the off season to have surgery. You know what I mean? You didn't want to. You just tried to find a way to grind it out, and just do the best you could because you didn't want your job to be taken, right? You didn't want to get Wally Pipp. You didn't want to come out and have somebody come out and take your position and have a career, a Hall of Fame career because you were hurt. I just think I worked my tail off in the off season. My workout started at 6:37 every morning, and it just gave me a little bit of a mental toughness because I had guaranteed money, so I didn't have to do any of that. But I wanted to make the most of my career. So, but I think luck, all that stuff. You don't hear about too many dogs. You look at like a Sam Bowie, you know, the number one pick in the draft, basketball draft. Some guys just never nervous. Purvis Ellison. Some guys just have bad luck, man. It's just unfortunate that, you know, maybe, you know, it's their journey and their test to see how they respond to it and you know, come out of it. You know, we all have our different journeys and our different shortcomings and battles that we have to deal with, and we don't know why we have them. You know, we don't know, but you know, we just got to go ahead and fight through it. And you know, maybe it's, you know, a test of fate. You know, all that stuff. But I just think luck. I remember my college coach at University of Miami, Ron Fraser, said, "I'd rather be lucky than good," because you need
Totally.
some luck.
Yeah.
You need some luck, you know?
Hey, Tony, what are your thoughts? How does a Tom Brady or a Nolan Ryan?
Wow,
do
man,
what they do?
I'm agreeing with every single one of what everybody said on TV tonight. I'm agreeing with you guys. You know, for one, you got Tom Brady. That guy, that boy is 100% healthy all the time. And like Greg said, for all the players, everybody has an off season where surgeries happen. Taking care of yourself, not jumping off the diet just because you're off season, you know. And I love the luck part because, you know, if you ain't lucky, you ain't good, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals where a lot of those lucky kids back in the day where they were number one going into college and they hurt themselves the last game of the season, second game. You know, they make a lot of movies about this.
Yeah.
Where those are the Michael Jordans, those are the Tom Bradys, those are the Tiger Woods. You know, I could keep on going on, but no, I agree with all what you're saying and everybody's saying. You know, I like the luck part, and at the same time, taking care of yourself, making sure you're not cheating on yourself. You know, cheating on yourself where you're all, oh man, you know, I'm going to go do this for a couple weeks, and guess what happens? All of a sudden, you can't do the certain moves that you used to do, or hit the ball like you used to hit it, or throw a football like you used to. You know, you got to take care of yourself. And that's why all these folks that we're talking about, Greg too, definitely congratulations, because, you know, all those folks that didn't make it, where there were the Michael Jordans, the Greg Vaughns, all of the above, and they just made it through high school where they couldn't go to college because they got hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Can I say this though? But so this is my piece on the luck part. I mean, is he injured or is he, you know, he's hurt because of a blood clot? You know, that's a different. And this kid, I mean, on non-game days, they said he's in bed by 9 o'clock. I mean, I mean, these kids nowadays, they are trained machines. You know what I mean? From all the stuff that they do, from the time that, but being able to sustain that mentality after you know, get your bag, that's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different story.
But hey, Bama, what's your quick thought? Luck,
real
conditioning,
quick.
God, DNA.
I'm going to go. Of course, you know, I think luck's one of the main factors right there. Anybody can't do that long of a career without luck right there. But I think it's also mentality. If you got a good mindset going into things for your workouts for the season, your off-season workouts there, just keep your body going, your mind going right there. That does help a lot right there. But it's all about luck, man. I mean, you could be the best athlete in the world and stump over somebody's leg, and you know your career's done. It's all about luck for the main part. But if you prepare yourself right, like an off season by yourself, when you're not having enough coaches right there, where you do it during regular season as well. But it's also mental, man. Like I say, keep your mental right. If you think you're going to stay positive, keep your body right, keep everything good right there, keep it in balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
And then pray for luck.
Yeah. And quick question
Yes.
though. So then you take, you know, because you can say be in shape and we can say all those other things, but look at Tua. He's taken a couple shots and hit his head. I mean, to me, sometimes that has nothing to do with shape. Sometimes your journey is your journey, and it's what the guy upstairs has given you, and it's
Amen.
When you think about it, Tua has guaranteed money. He has his bag, but people don't understand that 24, 25. Shoot, I retired at 39. It's a major part of your life. And then, you know, we got so much time to live if we're lucky enough, you know, after that career is over with. So, you know, I remember a lot of people saying, why would he come back? I mean, he didn't, as an athlete, you want to go out your way. You don't want to go out, a way that you didn't plan to go out, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of denominators that are involved in it. Like I said, man, staying healthy is part, is being, you need some luck. You need some luck to stay healthy, because
yeah,
you're going to get injured. You're going to get hurt, but getting injured is a whole different animal.
yeah. Okay, hey, Brady, we got Brady with us. Hey, Brady, you there? No, he was there.
Yeah,
So,
yes, I'm here. I'm
oh,
here. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm just
okay. Hey,
multitasking.
Brady,
Hey guys.
welcome. Hey, we're just
Well,
Brady, real quick. I don't know. You got any comments? We're just chatting about how the Nolan Ryans, LeBron
yeah,
Jameses, Walter Paytons of
yeah.
the world. It all comes up. I don't know if you heard about Victor Wembanyama
I missed
earlier in the
that part.
week.
I just think the
So
harder and smarter you work, the luckier you're gonna get, though. I mean, but yeah. But go ahead. Yeah, I missed
yeah,
that
but
part.
I was just kind of it's just an opinion based question. How does a Nolan Ryan perform for 26 years at that level? Was it luck, conditioning, God, DNA? Like what?
How does he perform at that level?
How did he do? How does LeBron James still perform at the level that he does in 21 years into his career when a guy, and again, I brought up Greg Oden.
A
If you remember Greg
lot.
Oden, just with so many guys that could, would, should be that, but so few actually are.
A lot of preventative maintenance work. I mean, I know that like Tom Brady's pliability and flexibility had a lot to do with his longevity, just like Novak Djokovic, being able to do, condition the fitness and the nutrition, doing those little things right. I'm sure, Greg, you would agree with that. I mean, it's not just, you got preparation, performance, and recovery. And you could be a great performer, but if your recovery, you're not getting nutrition, you're not resting, and you're not well prepared, then those are I think there's a lot of programs out there that are all sports performance based, but it's not addressing enough on recovery and preparation. So, but in particularly with Tom Brady and like Djokovic, their flexibility and pliability was key for their longevity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
For
Well, right
injury,
on, Brady. Thanks for joining us. Give us Mr. Inspiration documentary updates.
man, it's just, I'll be short and sweet. It's been a long journey, and we are with Bob, and it wouldn't be any other way. One step at a time was his book. So we've been plugging away, bootstrapping this ourselves independently. But within 30 days, we will have this final cut and working on the music score now and the final edit. So spoke to Bob for his birthday last week. He was super excited about it, and he actually moved to tears. So we're hoping with the documentary we'll be able to get the feature film funding as well. So, yeah, we're getting closer to the finish line. Thank you.
Awesome. And then also, I was just reminding them, about Isaac
Yes. Yeah, Isaac was on the show. Yeah, Bob's best
a couple
friend of
times. Yeah, but he was on a few times. He was one of our favorite guests in the world.
Dave. I was with you on Radio Row right when he called me, and I told you, you go, what's going on? I said, that was Isaac, and we were in good spirits on radio. Dave was, I was watching Dave at his office there on Radio Row doing what he does, and we were moving and grooving a little bit, and I got the call from Isaac, and he's like, Brady, I'm at the VA, and he's like, I've been diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia, and I don't have much time. And it really breaks me up to say that. I'm bouncing back, but it was tough. I mean, I got that call, and I was just, Spencer, you saw me.
Yeah.
I was broken up. And then Monday, I got the call when we got back from New Orleans. His son called me, and he passed away. So Thursday, and then he passed
4
away on Monday.
days.
2 weeks ago today. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the call, and 4 days later.
Later. Rest in peace to Isaac. Bob's best friend of 50 years, Vietnam veteran. He was in his mid-80s. He was on part of the Walk Across America with Bob, which, again, is arguably the greatest athletic achievement of any human being of all time. Just shy of 5 million steps on his arms without the use of a wheelchair. And he had the world record hold in the bench press for a while. And he also completed the Ironman in Hawaii, which has never been done. by a double amputee without the use of a wheelchair as well. So amazing stuff. But he served for our country, man, and he could have ran for safety and shelter, but he stepped, was going after a fallen comrade and got his legs blown off. So I mean, what a hero, right? And what hope that his story gives us to survive a body bag and to go on and do incredible athletic feats. And he's still with us today. So we're really excited to be able to bring that to the screen and inspire and improve lives while preventing suicides. There's a lot of veterans that are taking their lives daily, and his story is impactful to say the least.
Yeah. So, man, we're gonna miss Isaac. He was. I loved having him on the show. But everybody, I'm hoping, he from somewhere will be very, very excited when he gets to see the final cut of that documentary.
Thank you, Spencer. Yes, amen, brother. We got to work with more urgency, man. We're all here temporarily, so let's make it count, right?
Yeah.
All be more purposeful, be more passionate, love more, give more, serve more, do more. So, yeah.
All right.
Here we are. Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, stay
That's great.
tuned. We'll be hearing more about this. Like I said, we're getting close. We're about a month, maybe a month out. So, stay tuned for the Bob Whelan, Mr. Inspiration documentary. My next topic this evening is not so touchy-feely. It's about the refs. Okay. Refs, especially, football season's over. That's a whole separate thing. We don't have to talk about the refs and the Chiefs. But so I'm diving in, getting caught up with the NBA. And, dude, either the refs are taking things personal or some of these games are rigged. I don't know what in the F is going on right now. And I don't even really know how to form this question. But, I want to start here. Because you can't get it, conspiracy theories. But the Tim Donaghy, that was a real thing back in the day. Fully real. Tim Donaghy was fully throwing games on the over. Let me ask you this. I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to make it a yes or no question. Do you think in any way, shape, or form, games are being rigged by refs in professional sports? G-Unit, yes or no?
Absolutely not. That is ridiculous.
Okay. Dave Stevens.
No, I don't believe that. Somebody would have leaked it by now.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony.
I agree with them, even though they make me mad. They make me mad. But nah.
Bama.
I'm kind of 50-50, man, because I heard about the Eastern Michigan college team that the few of their play, I think it was them, got shaving points right there. They got suspended this year already. My Alabama baseball got suspended last year because they were doing some weird stuff with betting right there. The coach got fired. I want to say no. I don't know. I mean, what do you think's happened so far this year in the NBA to make you think that's happening? I'm not going to say it's out of question. No, not at all. Money's money, man. And there's a lot of people out there wanting money.
Dude, and with the explosion of legal sports gambling, I think it's in 35 states now.
That's why my Alabama coach got fired last year, because he was manipulating stolen bases.
So
that kind of stuff. Right? there's all kind of small things you can do right now.
Now, Greg, I don't want you. You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but I'm talking in any major sports, the big ones. Do you think there's any games that are being thrown or rigged or at all?
I think, you have some bad apples. You know what I mean? You have some guys that just somehow, like I said, all the good teams that I played on, we got all the good calls. You know what I mean? All the bad teams, we never got a call. But I think also, I think the leagues, they want who they want in the playoffs also, because ratings and money. When you have two major markets in You know, when you have the Yankees playing the Dodgers, that's a win-win for baseball. If you have Tampa playing Kansas City, I don't, you know, which is still good teams, but you know, how many, you know, it's not going to be followed all over the world. You know, when you have the Yankees and, you know, and you have the Dodgers. I think, you know, going back to your first talking about the NBA official, that was 1999. I mean, you know, I'm a Sac Kings fan, and we had 4 free throws, and the Lakers had 42, and they still are 37. I mean, I don't care what game you're playing. You in the NBA, you got to have more than 4, 7, 10 free throws. It can't be that much of a discrepancy between, you know, we're one team's fouling that much. You know what I mean? And he came out and he sort of admitted it, but he also said the league wanted the Lakers in the playoff. I mean, in the championship game, right? So it's, I believe I believe it's, I don't know. It'd be hard for me to say that they're intentionally, but I think there's a higher power that has a lot of say in who they want to go, where they want them to go.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I bring this up. And I've talked about this before. I mean, at the end of the day, sports are entertainment. Okay. And again, I'm an actor and a writer and a producer. We got a movie, TV shows. And back in, you know, what was it, September, one of the only things that was saving Disney was football. You know what I'm saying? Was the ratings they were getting from whatever football streaming Disney had the rights to. So I just, you know, when I watch these NBA games, and maybe I'm just because I'm a Nuggets fan, but I listen to a lot of Hawks games now, just when I'm out driving around, and just in general, there are just insanely ridiculous calls being made in the NBA right now. I'm not even going to touch on the Chiefs stuff with the refs with the Chiefs last year, but so I'm getting so G Units no, Dave's no, Tony wants to be no, Bama was a long-winded yes, Greg, there's something. There's no way we're looking at 100% legit sports.
Spencer, real
There
quick.
is a WWE aspect to it.
I kind of, real quick, Spencer, sorry, I kind of blame the players more than the referees. I think there's players that are more in touch with people that are kind of manipulating games more than the referees are.
Yeah. Hey, Brady, you want to chime in on this if you're still there?
Yes, I will listen. I'll be the listener for now because I am driving, but I'm here.
Okay.
I'm tracking you. Yeah, go ahead.
So that's basically all I was really wanting to say is at the end of the day, it's a business and legal sports gambling is everywhere. And I guess another thing and this is just me being, I guess, not conspiracy theorist. Okay. I go back to the Tim Donaghy thing and, I'm pretty sure that the FBI was investigating Tim Donaghy for 2 years. Like, why did it take the FBI 2 years to bust him?
They was making money too, probably.
I'm just saying, bro. 2 years? It took you 2 years. So for 2 years, people out there knew the outcomes, at least in regards to the over-under of basketball games. Whether it's the FBI or the mob or whoever it was, it took them 2 years? I mean...
Well, I think you can just go to this is your guys' world, to the Diddy case. You know, they knew about it for forever, but, you know, they're not gonna go get them until all the ducks are lined up. You know
I mean, I get that. I get the Diddy thing, but like nobody.
Same thing with the official. They can't go and make these type of accusations against an official and not have everything lined up. You know, their ducks have to be in a row because now you got, you know, the FBI fighting the case that wasn't accurate. You know, they can't mess up like that. You know, to go back to it, like Bama said, I think nowadays you hear about players that are you know, the money's so large, and you have the guys that are making the bag, but then you also have the guys that are there. But I had a friend, and he left. He made it to AAA, but that was it. Then he went to, and he's real close to me, and he went to Taiwan, and he was playing in Taiwan or Korea, both. He told me one time, he said, "Hey man, the pitcher or the third base, someone came up to him, and he was a shortstop, and said, 'Hey, I need you to, we got to find a way to lose this game.'" And he goes, "What?" He goes, "I'm not." He goes, "No, dude, I'm in bed, but you know, with the bad guys, you know, with the cartel. I'm in, you know." And my boy was like, I can't say his name, but he was like, "No, dude, I didn't sign up for anything." He goes, "Oh no, man, but I told him you were in it. You know, you were down." And so he's ready to kill this dude. But at the same time, the dudes took him in the room after, because my boy didn't do it, right? And so they took him they met him at the hotel, and they were like, "Hey, we're taking your passports. You're going to lose this next game," and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, after that game, after he got his passport, he left. But, you know, that's the type of stuff that's going on.
Yeah, get up, yeah.
Like, we're not asking you, we're telling you you're going to lose this game.
I'm gonna take your goldfish.
Yeah, but the other dude, he signed up, and my buddy said he was making big money. You know what I mean? And it was, but when you start getting other guys involved, it's hard to lose a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, I don't know. It just I would like to believe that everything we're seeing is fully on the up and up, but I don't believe it. Not fully. There's
Look at
just
the
too
world we live
much
in.
weird things happening.
Look at the world we live in. I mean, that's all you got to do is turn on the news every day.
Like the stock market, nothing's up and up right now. I mean, it's always about what you can get.
Yeah.
Right? Compromise society, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sports in reality are the world's greatest reality show because you're not supposed to know the outcome. It's not scripted. But it is
I'm
owned-
heartbroken when I hear about sports athletes doing it right there, man. Just
But it
breaks
is
my heart to hear that,
owned-
'cause
it
we're
is
so invested
owned-
as like fans
Yeah.
that we want to see our team, our players play well, everything do well right there. Whatever happens, happens. If you have a good luck, bad luck, whatever, the ball jumps off the base here, blah blah blah. Whatever happens to you cause you want to lose, you want it to be in the up and up. And as a fan, it breaks my heart to kind of realize that it's not that way. It feels like right now.
And unfortunately, like I said, that you have some guys you don't know what they're going through, what they need the money for, what that make them make that decision. But sports, like during the Depression, sports was an avenue for everyone to at least not think about bad stuff for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was, right?
Yes.
So, but now it's a business. It's just like everything in life. It's a corporation. Everything is a corporation. Everything that was family owned and family operated. You think about it from your local drugstores to the cleaners, clothiers. I mean, corporations. If you're doing well, corporations buy you out, and that personal feeling and it's gone. It's not the same. It is big business now, and like you said, now that you can bet on it, and basically 39, 40 states, college, women, WNBA. I mean, you can bet on everything now. So it's a different avenue in itself. And I get to see it too. Living in Vegas, you get to hear about how they say Vegas influences so many games. You know what I mean? It's weird. I wish I knew what games they were going to influence, but
Yeah.
Money
Yeah,
talks.
that's right there.
Yeah.
Well,
Hell, you guys hit that parlay recently. I mean, you guys are the hot ones, right?
We are the hot ones, Dave. Tell all
you
your
get
friends.
lucky every now and then, Dave.
And just so you guys know, listen, we've never talked about this, but me and Tony and Bama one time, we spent like a couple of 2-3 days. Remember this, Bama? We went back through Tony's gambling history over an entire year on DraftKings, right? Because we're like, okay, he's pretty good at football.
Yeah.
Just so you know, what he's actually best at is hockey.
Hockey. His best stats were hockey. Yes.
Just so you know,
All right.
like we
You
went
are
through
right.
we were bored. I don't know. Was it COVID? It had
It
to
was.
been
It was
co-
kind of. It was
it
a
had
little
to
bit
been
out
the
there. Yeah, we
COVID
were just
summer
bored house
where
one
we were
night.
just sitting
Yeah,
around
yeah,
doing
yeah.
nothing. But yeah,
Yeah, but what's
just so
DraftKings?
you
Yeah,
know.
it gave all your stats, who you bet on, how many times you bet on this team, or these, the sport, this night right there. Yeah, his best definitely winnings was hockey.
Hey, Dave, it got me nervous.
But that too was when Avalanche were kicking butt, though.
So
that was it. That was Avalanche like Stanley Cup years right there.
my main thing is, after living in LA for 5 years, just knowing that who's at the top of the food chain when it's Hollywood, that's at the top of the food chain for sports. That that makes me say, sometimes. I'm just saying.
It just can't be that way, man. I know we want to think the way things have looked at, the way things have gone. I know we've had like some of the, like we talked about, Mike Porter Jr. from the Nuggets. His brother getting suspended for his career, first game of points with the NBA team he was with earlier this year. I mean, there's
Toronto.
right there, but
He's in jail. Yeah, he got a jail.
Oh wow.
yeah. But I got to think that the majority of the sports played are not like that, man. It's got to be that way.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say it is
His
like with the
dad
whole
played-
Chiefs thing
his
last year, or the
dad played-
referees made all these calls, this, that, right there. But at the end of the day, it's just they played the game. And yes, maybe there's a bad call here. There's also bad calls for the other teams that didn't get called. I mean, it kind of goes both ways. I just don't want to believe that it's a set in stone rule of thumb who's going to win that game right there. I
See,
just don't
but-
feel like that. Yes.
But Bama, I got something for you on this one, and I didn't know we were going to bring up the topic, and I loved how Gregory put there's a couple bad apples out there, but there's a couple bad apples, and you also have to blame the player. And I'm not just talking about basketball. I'm not talking about baseball. I'm not talking about football. I'm not talking about hockey. Hey, man, if we're going to go crazy on this, let's talk about the Kentucky Derbies, the Belmonts, where the
Boxing.
the writer is holding that horse saying, hey, I'm going to let this 89-1 to win, so I take second. So to get me out of trouble, there could be that too. But those host writers, you got to watch out for those bad boys. I bet on them. I do. But it's out there.
The Trotters are the worst.
Yeah, Trotters. Yeah.
Because they're the ones that can say, whoa, there's Seabiscuit.
Okay, and I'll drop it at this. I have one other thing I want to talk about. I don't think we're going to get Larabe on this evening, but okay, in that 2-year investigation of Donaghy, where basically they knew he was throwing these games for the over. Okay, what about all the gamblers in Vegas that lost money on the unders of those games? Did they get their money back?
No.
Heck no, you don't get your money back.
I think that's
if you
kinda
buy a
effed up.
Snickers
I think
at a
that's
grocery
kinda effed
store,
up.
you're going to eat
Hey,
it. You're gonna give
Spencer,
it
let me
back.
ask you this. Let me ask Tony, because me and Tony and Bama, we text a lot about what games we like and don't like.
Right.
Let me ask you. Let me ask the pro T and Bama. How can you bet on Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and it's fixed and rigged? How can you bet on? How can they take money for that?
See, that's a tough one. See, like with me,
They took money. They took a lot
They
of money.
took
right?
a lot of
they
money.
took a lot of money.
And everybody knows Mike Tyson would have whooped the crap out of Jake Paul if it had been a real fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have won a real fight.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he wouldn't have got. I guess if he intentionally tried to hurt him, he would have got like $1 million. He couldn't throw an uppercut. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do.
Yeah.
So I mean,
He couldn't throw his haymaker.
Yeah, if he knocked him out like the first round, he got no money at all right
He
there.
had no
Yeah.
money at all. Yeah, and he
See,
got like
on that one, Greg, I bet on rounds. And I didn't bet the first, second, or third because they were trying to make a showing and they were trying to help out Netflix to build up Netflix so they can get
Sorry. Again, Hollywood.
You bet
Top
on
of the
it? I
food
didn't bet
chain.
on that fight.
Yeah.
I did not bet on that fight because I knew it was, yeah.
Hollywood is
fifth and seventh, or no, fifth and sixth round.
I didn't even watch it because I knew Jake Paul and Mike Tyson lives around the corner from me. But I didn't bet on the fight because it's not going to be a fight.
Yeah.
No, it was staged. It was all show. Yeah.
Plus
right.
Jake Paul, he calls him Uncle Mike Tyson.
But again, like we're saying, but then how can like Vegas take bets on that right there? You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody knows it's staged. It's staged. So how can you take
Okay.
bets to do?
Okay, so let's
You
pretend
know,
we're all
listen,
pretend we're all casino owners, and you were betting on the unders of the Donaghy games. You're a casino owner, Alex. I want my money back. You gonna give me my money back, knowing those games were rigged?
No.
They didn't rig them.
Okay, Dave Stevens, you giving me my money back? Tony, you giving me my money back at the TMP casino?
No, you already ate my Snickers. You already paid for it.
Greg, you're not giving me my money back?
I don't know the ref. I didn't know he did it.
Yep. No money back. Bets.
Okay. And I also think like how many, okay, and this goes to like the steroid era of baseball. How many outcomes of games, if you really want to open Pandora's box, how many outcomes of games in the steroid era were affected by steroids? The overs or the outcomes of games that affected gamblers? Or do you think that was baked in?
You can't ask that question, man. Because I mean, yeah, you don't know what that is right there.
I know. That's why I say it's Pandora's box.
Right there, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
because you don't know if a pitcher's doing it, if a hitter's doing it.
Yeah, because I just
Yeah, if it was Clemens versus McGuire, I guess it makes it all fair, right?
No, I don't know about that. I'm like I said,
No,
Shotgun.
just it. So who knows? Okay, my last question. I wanted to ask Larabe this. I just want to get your guys' opinion of this. I was listening to Sports Talk Radio this week. You remember the USA Canada game? We beat them 3-1. They had all the brawls, all the beef between US and Canada, and then they beat us in the second game in overtime. Well, I was listening to Sports Talk out here in Atlanta, and they were talking about how that, the 3-1 victory could be the launching pad that launches hockey to be equal to basketball, and the popularity is just going to go through the roof. And, the other guy talking was like, dude, basketball is international. Like, it's going to take a lot for hockey to do that. And they were talking about how the NHL a couple years ago signed a big deal with ESPN. And apparently, and I don't know, I don't want anybody to like say anything that maybe they shouldn't supposed to, but the NHL apparently is not happy with ESPN and the way that they have been marketing, or basically the lack of marketing of the NHL. And they think that, again, ESPN is owned by Disney. And they think that they're intentionally not marketing the NHL because it is a violent sport. What is your thoughts on that? That essentially the PTA moms run the world, and that is why, out of a 30-minute sports center, you only hear about the NHL for about a minute and a half.
I disagree. I think what happened here was what happened in Olympics. Back in when the Miracle team. Hockey needed this just like they needed Caitlin. The WNBA needed Caitlin Clark. It was her timing, and it brought more awareness at the right time. And I think hockey right now is as big as it gets. You know what I mean? Especially down here for us. We have the Knights, but I don't know my algorithm. Dude, I'm telling you, I get hockey stuff all day long on my phone now because I like it. To me, they always, and I have a lot of friends that I play golf with that are hockey players and that I've known for a long time. To me, they're some of the best athletes I've ever seen in my life. To do what they do on skates and to do it and have a back-to-back, they're incredible. You know what I mean? So I think now with streaming and all, I think everything is going to be what it is. It's not regular TV is not the norm anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's obsolete. It's the dinosaur. Streaming is everything. So I know.
So sorry. Finish your thought there, Greg, if you need to.
No, I was just saying, just like with the documentary on Mr. Inspirational, everything's streaming now. You're not, a large network. Why would you do that anyway? You wouldn't make money. You make money streaming, way more money streaming than going to a major network.
Yeah. Dave Stevens, do you think? I don't know if I know you got buddies there. Do you think the ESPN is intentionally not marketing the NHL because it's a violent game? because they're
No,
owned by
I
Disney?
think, and I worked at ESPN for 20 years. I've got my Emmys because of ESPN, but I've watched that sinking ship sail into the sunset. To Greg's point, just because of streaming and so many opportunities to see other stuff. Rob Manfred the other day, the commissioner of MLB, said that ESPN is not, they're not going to have. They just pulled the deal because ESPN is not the platform that it used to be. So I don't think it's they're against the NHL. I just don't think they have people that are sports fans at ESPN that know NHL, that know how to market it. You have amazing people like Linda Cohn, who is a huge hockey fan that could be involved with it, and it's hardly anything. They just don't have the luster that it used to have as a network. And I just think that with all ESPN can't afford these rights deals anymore because they're not making the same amount of money they were off of their cable thing. So they're going to lose these rights. And as again, to Greg's point, that these platforms are going to scoop in and pick them up. You're going to see them on Prime. You're going to see them on Amazon. You're going to see them on all these other outlets. Football's doing the same thing, where you either get that thing or you don't get to watch the game. So it's helping in those markets as well.
But Hulu has the hockey. Hulu has all the hockey games. So
Disney.
Tony
Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
G
whatever.
G Unit. G Unit. Do you think that Disney is intentionally not marketing hockey because it's violent? Yes or
It
no?
definitely could be, but I mean, just like what Greg said, I get emails and advertisements about hockey all the time too, and I love hockey. But it is interesting that hockey is so famous in Canada, more famous in Canada than it is here, whereas like the American sport is the NFL, is football. I think
Yeah.
that has something to do with it, like the foundation of the sport in itself.
Got it. Tony, do you think they're intentionally not marketing it because the PTA moms at Disney don't like the violent game of hockey?
Nah, man, not even close. No. If we're gonna go that way, they shouldn't be having NFL football on Disney then, including when they're trying to advertise it for the playoffs coming up. Nah, man. Mm-mm.
Now, again,
I
I'm
don't.
not. This
I don't
isn't my
believe that at
opinion.
all. It's
This isn't
like
my
you said.
opinion. This is what apparently I think Gary Bettman is the commissioner of the NHL. I don't know if he has said this publicly or privately, but they are not happy with the ESPN deal that they're giving the NHL. Bama, what's your thoughts?
I think that ESPN's a joke for doing it. I think that right now, hockey, the way it is right now, in a lot of people's minds, especially if football's gone to where it's gone to a non-contact sport in football, you want to see hockey. I think a lot of people in the United States love watching hockey right now. They love the physicality of it. They love like we said the other day when U.S. and Canada, they fought 3 times in the first 9 seconds. I think they like that. And if
Straight up Hanson brothers, bro. They got all Hanson brother about it. It's awesome.
Hey, Spencer, but it's the same thing with, look at TNT, how long they had NBA. TNT's done, but after this year, there's no more NBA on TNT. So Shaq, Barkley, all those guys are gone. Like I said, it's streaming, man. When you talk about the richest men in the world, they own tech companies. They're going to take what they want. They're going to bid on what they want to bid on.
It's stupid for ESPN to not be in hockey, man. I really think hockey is growing so much in the U.S. now with the way people look at the NFL as not being, again, like the non-contact sport anymore. They want to see some fun, some physicality, some action right there. So I've got more into hockey over the last handful of years. I mean, NFL, I'm still an NFL fan, but they're definitely haven't gained any more than I have a hockey right there. I think ESPN's stupid for not marketing more. If they say they are, they should be doing more of it right there if they're not.
Yeah. I mean, my grandpa told me for years, because he was a minor league hockey player from Boston, that hockey is the greatest game. And I was like, you're crazy, blah, 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 football. And he's probably right. You got any thoughts on this, Brady?
I'm just listening, guys. I'm in a sports bar, so it's kind of loud. I'm just
okay, no big deal.
I'm enjoying
all right,
listening
so
to y'all.
that's basically all I got, guys. We're at about an hour. I just wanted everybody's opinion of that. And again, every time all these stories, they all lead back to Hulu or Netflix or Disney, and I'm just. It bothers me that Hollywood owns sports now. And I guess because I lived in LA for 5 years and I know what a crooked crooked industry Hollywood is. That's
Yeah,
it.
I think, Dave, you shine some really good insight. And I mean, you have inside information for working with ESPN and how a lot of these streaming platforms are acquiring the content now because the rights deals and the landscape has completely changed. So it's just like, wow, it's like, Netflix is streaming sports now and all these other it's just, yeah, the game's changing.
You know what I'd actually heard that's kind of interesting is I can't remember what team it was. It might have been the Braves. Literally, teams are going to start streaming their own games on their own platforms. I think that's interesting.
The Rockies did it last year.
Like, screw
You
all
had to-
these guys.
no,
We're just keep the money ourselves. We're the
Rockies
product.
did it last year. You had to pay like you could buy MLB Network, but you had to pay another like an extra $50-$60 just to get the Rockies games.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anybody got any mind-blowing, profound closing thoughts for this amazing episode of Sports and Tacos?
I'm just happy the fellas jumped on with us, man, and just talking with us.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you for coming on the show, guys.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank y'all.
Awesome.
Keep it up, guys. God bless you. We appreciate everything.
And again,
Everybody,
Dave
see ya.
Stevens, thank you so much for getting me and Brady into Radio Row. The contacts that we made could be priceless. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to everybody for everybody's
Thank
help.
you, Dave.
Indeed, yes.
We got some big. I've got some big phone calls coming up, and like I said, we're just slowly but surely trying to grow this podcast. Slowly but surely.
Keep
So
it
I
up,
think-
man. Keep it up,
Thanks
brother.
everybody. Because nobody's being paid to be on here.
No.
So thank you very much for volunteering your time.
Keep coming on our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you. God
All
bless
right,
you.
guys. Until next week.
Happy Monday, guys.
Bye, guys.
Adios.